Welcome to the eLogic Modern Selling for Manufacturing series. In this video, we are going to cover how a sales leader can more effectively manage their sales meetings, both with their direct reports, the sales managers. We're going to look at the overall forecast and do some adjusting based on the pipeline, and then a specific meeting with the entire sales team so we can pivot across each rep's pipeline and look at all of their key opportunities. So let's go into Advantage again and have a look. So I'm logged back into Advantage, and before our overall sales meeting, I'm going to meet with the sales managers to review the Q3 closeout here. So we have 17 days left in the quarter, and I'm just going to focus on our big capital equipment opportunities that are in the pipeline. Now, overall, our capital equipment quota here for the quarter was $4 million, and we've already achieved over a little over $5 million. So we've done really well here on the quarter overall. We're looking to get probably another $1 million in the door, so we're going to have a great quarter overall. I can look at this across, though, the different sales managers, and you can see Ed, who had a quota of $2 million, is probably going to come in around $1.5 million, so a little bit shy of his actual overall quota. Now, he's got a number of the new reps that are on the team, so his team is just building up here now. Whereas Matt is going to have a really fantastic quarter here. He's looking to do a little over $3 million on a $2 million quota. So in talking through the pipeline here with Ed, before we get into the overall sales meeting, I want to have a look at some of the key opportunities that his team is actually forecasting for this given quarter. And so as I look through this, he's got a number of these deals that actually haven't been committed. In fact, they're all the way back in the pipeline. And so I want to actually, drill into this a little bit more with Ed to understand, are some of these deals actually a little bit further along that we could push forward? So as I look at this view, I can see here's the one deal that his team has actually committed, and he's got one in upside. But I really feel that some of Jerry's opportunities here need to come forward. So I'm going to actually push this deal up into committed, and I'm going to ask both Jerry and for Ed to really come back with a plan for how they can commit this deal here to get it done here by September 28th. And similarly, this upside deal that Jerry also has, I want to see that get into the commit column here as well. So I'm going to actually go ahead and update their pipeline around that and recalculate this. And now we can see actually that, Ed, if he can get those two deals in, can actually get to at least a little over 80% of his quota here for this quarter, which would be fantastic. So next I want to look at the trend. I always like to see how has our pipeline moved through the actual quarter itself. And what we're seeing is a series of snapshots for different aspects of our pipeline and how it actually evolved here through the pipeline. And then finally, I can look at this more from a flow, because one of the things that I always want to understand is how overall did our pipeline start and then how did it end? So we've taken various snapshots of our pipeline. So I'm going to go back to July 1st. And I'm going to pick today's date, and I'm going to run the analysis between these two. And so I can see that in July, on July 1st, we actually had $55 million in the pipeline. Today, we have $8.75 million in the pipeline. And now that is for specifically this quarter. So I would expect that number to go down significantly. You can see, though, how a lot of this pipeline has actually flown. So deals that we had committed, we mostly are still either committed or won. I can go and look at some of our upside and where that went. Ultimately, I can see some of the new deals that came in, which is great. But a lot of business actually slipped, meaning that while we didn't win or lose it, the reps actually pushed it out to a subsequent quarter. And it gives me an idea around that. And if I actually want to understand that specific set of opportunities more, I can come in here and actually look at those individual opportunities. So this has given me a good oversight of what has actually visibly happened to our pipeline here over this past quarter. And now I'm ready to go into our actual sales meeting. So I can go and look at our pipeline and bring the entire team onto a call now. I can look at our pipeline by all of our open capital opportunities, or I can just look at our aftermarket business, something I wanted to drill in with the team here a little bit more. In this case, I'm actually going to pull up all of our open opportunities. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to filter this just by the estimated close date being essentially this quarter. So I'm going to pick this fiscal period, which is in the next here couple of weeks. So we still have a lot of pipeline here to go after. Now, one of the things I want to do here just to filter this more is I want to look at it. Potentially, I want to look at some of our top customers and what we have going on with DuPont, and a few others here in particular. But also I can actually just pivot this by the actual reps themselves. Now, Mark's got a little over $2 million still in the pipeline. I'd like to get into that in a little bit more detail here with Mark, but I'm not going to have time to go through every single deal, of course. So in this case, actually, what I want to do is I just want to focus on his top one or two opportunities. So I'm going to pivot this down, and I know that he's got this deal with DuPont, the North Complex expansion. We know there's some risk in this opportunity, so I want to drill into that particular deal here more with him. So happily can do that and pull up that opportunity and drill into that in more detail. Similarly, I can come back and actually look at not just Mark's business, but now I can, after going through his, I can now go down through Michael's and Jerry's and Ulrich's and actually look at their top opportunities here for this quarter and collaborate on what is it that we need to do as the next step in order to go win that business. And so with that, I want to do a quick wrap up. Thank you for watching this brief overview of how a sales leader can run much more effective sales meetings. If you want to learn more about Advantage for manufacturers, please go to eLogic.com/advantage. Thank you.